it's Pat Sloan here. It is Christmas tree day, woo! And we are on week 3. But before we do that, it is handbag day. I am the original bag lady. Seriously, I'm a bag lady. I am not. I don't have the same collection I used to have. I used to get and have lots of handbags, purses, whatever word you use for them, purses, bags, and I would have loads of them. I still love them so much, but my life is different, and what I do and where I go is kind of different, and the bag that I need for that is much different. But I wanted to show you one of my favorites. This is, of course, it's red. It's red, and I love it so much. I got this on a trip when we were on travel, and so it's actually I bought it on a cruise ship. We were on vacation, and I love it so much. It is so cool. But this isn't what I use every day because, you know, it's heavy and I'm usually much more casual, and often I'm taking walks. So I've got 2 bags that I want to kind of replace with something a little bit more exciting. These, you know, these sort of, you know, strap bags that you, you know, throw everything in. And I've used them. This one I use to walk with because I do like to take my phone and tissues and keys, and I don't want to put them in my pants pocket. So I carry this little bag, but I'm starting to wear it out. I mean, it's got a cloth thing. You know, I need to replace this one with something that's nylon, like this guy. So I need to see if this brand, these are what these Bagalinis. Yeah, so these are great, but I need a smaller one. So I just thought I'd digress. And if you are a bag lady or a bag dude, you might have lots of bags that you like. You know, tote bags, you name it. I mean, I cannot pass bags without looking at them. I have to look at them. Okay. I know, it's silly, but it's fun. It's fun. All right, we're on the Christmas quilt, Wendy Shepherd's book, which there are in stock at the Fat Quarter Shop again, and you can get a digital at Annie's, so those links are down below. But we are making, oh, I can never remember its name. It's got Heaven and Nature Sing. Heaven and Nature Sing is the quilt we're making. And week 3. Now, I first have to show you, did I show you this? I don't know. You're seeing it again if I did. This is what I got for binding. I may have to fussy cut it a little bit, so, or maybe do it on the diagonal. That's what I might do, is just use it on the diagonal. That way I don't have to stay on a straight line. Cool. So I think it'll look cool. All right, week 3. Okay, and week 4 will look just like this week. 3 more plus your sashings. Now my sashings, and the same thing Wendy did, is we use the same green and the same red. It makes it really easy. You know, both greens are the same. Now, if you are mixing it up and making those scrappy, you know, whatever you're doing. But I wanted to show you up close. I am going to pin this and then get the other camera, and I just want to show you the fabric differences, because she uses this fabric line here, which is called Favorite Things by Sherry and, oh, I just forgot, Chelsea. Sherry and Chelsea, it's her daughter Chelsea. They work together for their fabrics. And it has a little bit lighter feel. The colors are a little bit lighter, like a pinky red. They're much lighter greens. There's some gray in there, which is different than mine. So I'm going to pin this up here and then get the other camera. So I think right away you can see how the fabrics I'm using are a little deeper color. They are a little more toned down. I'm using a more burgundy red, see here, a more burgundy red, and then I have the aqua, and there's no aqua in this fabric line. She has the grays. Look at this polka dot, so cute. But I have the darker greens, and hers are the lighter greens. So you can see the difference that makes. For the fabrics, the fabric that you're using, the fabrics you're using. Loads of fantastic fabrics out there from all of you. You also wanted to see the quilting on one of the other quilts. So there's 3 other quilts that I have from the book. So I figured this week and the next 2 weeks, I'll put each of those up and we'll take a little bit closer look at them. So we're going to look at the red and white one today. So this is also in the book. It is called Once in, whoops, what is it called? Once in Royal David City. That is what Wendy called this quilt. And she said she absolutely loves a classic red and white. Red and white, blue and white. You probably do green and white, anything classic like that. Just look how amazing this is. I love this part. I really, really, really love. Do you think she'll miss it if I don't send it back? I can give her visiting rights. She can come visit and visit her quilt. It's just 2 fabrics. So I want to show you, this was done in a big overall loose feather. So let me get the other camera. So here you can see, I think over on the white, you can see the feather, and here's the feather. And so it's fairly loose. What I'm going to do in a minute is I'm going to turn it around so you can see it on the back, because the back of this quilt is just the same white fabric. There. And this is a fairly open, loose feather. So you can see there's space in between them. Lots of, there, this looks good here, see? But it's not following the design. This is just an overall feather. So you can see how it just sort of weaves in and out through the quilt. Let me turn it around. Now I have the way I have the quilt hanging, the feather is going top to bottom, but this is a symmetrical quilt and there's no directional fabric. So if I rotated it, the feather would be going, you know, horizontal, but there you can see it. So this is the overall feather. So you can see it really good here. And it's nice, big, open, soft feather for this quilt. I also want to remind you that Benartex has their virtual new fabric event with new fabrics that will be being shown to the quilt shops for pre-ordering to be in the shops in the spring, and that is playing on October 17th. So you just need to register. It's free. They do fabric giveaways, so be sure you go and sign up for that. And I'm so excited to show you the winner of my Make-A-Wish quilt, which is Linda. She and her husband watched the videos. Hey, you guys. And she bid on the, well, didn't bid, bought a raffle ticket for the Make-A-Wish quilts for my quilt and won. And it was her birthday. So exciting. It looks really like it'll be really good in your home. So you enjoy it. And speaking of raffles, the Virginia Quilt Museum has my quilt for raffle. So you can buy a raffle ticket to win my quilt from the Virginia Quilt Museum, and all the proceeds go to the museum to help run and support it. So be sure you do that. You can just get it online. The link is below in the description box. And I have a bit of happy mail. This is from Sandy in Florida. She sent like a very Florida looking card. And a yummy Starbucks. Thank you, Sandy. Plus, super cute owl fabric. Look at that. They are awesome. I love them. Look at the edge. Look how cute that is. And these are so darling. The little wiener dog slippers. Thank you for thinking of me when you saw these. Oh my goodness, they are darling. Mwah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Speaking of critters, today through Friday is Critter Days. So I am going to put these quilts away and get the critters out. Get the box of critters out. And we need to pick a group of them, and then I'll stick them up on the design wall. That group, we'll pick a group to work with, and I will be working on making the quilt every day this week. Plus, if you want to see a tutorial on how to do a block, like, you know, all the steps, Kendall, our ambassador, his YouTube channel made the star block, and so you can go over there and check it out. He also has a little guide for you on how many pieces to cut if you just want to make 4. If you just want to do 4 of them, I don't have it up there anymore, but if you just want to do 4, he has that guide over on his channel. So I'll link you directly to that video. Okay, all right, let me go get the critters. So here we go, critter quilt number 2. If you are new to my channel, critter quilts are, they're a quilt made with a lot of animal quilt blocks that all of you were sending me. It just sort of snowballed, and all of a sudden I had all these quilt blocks, so I decided I would make quilts and then try to find homes for those to be displayed somewhere where people could enjoy them. And Critter Quilt number 1 just needs binding, and I will give you a status on finding it a permanent home. But today I'm going to start through this week working on Critter Quilt number 2, and honestly I would like to make just three of these, because I think that's enough. I think my excitement for making 4 is a bit low. That's a lot, and so we're going to try to squish the rest of all these blocks into 2 more quilts, but they can't be really big. So that means some of the blocks might have, some of the animals might go on the back. And also, one of our friends sent this beautiful fabric to use for a backing. And so the first one that we did, this theme didn't really work so well, but it's going to work better for this second one. So I am going to use the coloration of blocks that this will work with. And so I'm going to put that in my, I've got my picnic basket back here. This is where I'm keeping everything. So let's just show you, let me show you what I've got going on here. So I've got a pile of littles. And so some of you sent me some more littles. I think I'm good. Don't send any more blocks. Don't send any more critter blocks. I have enough. I want to just do 2 more quilts now. So I have enough. And I can make lovely, lovely quilts with everything I have. And so these little guys are going to be used to fill in. Like, these are my butterflies from the socialite. There's kind of birds. There's this fabulous dog. There's this long moth. That's just so cool. And so these, I'm going to put this right here. Okay, then I have this grouping, which are more, well, this is what I'm going to use now. This is the grouping that I want to go with, because I want to use that unicorn. Where is she? Lisa the unicorn. She's in here. And it's a huge, gigantic, ginormous block. So I want to use this one and have that kind of as the center, and then work around it. But it's got really great rainbow colors, and so that means these blocks will be the ones that are sort of the clearer, brighter colors, not the warm cozies. We'll leave all the warm cozies. And so I've got some billy goats, an elephant, a giraffe, the fox. I've got a pig, so I'm going to put these all up on the wall. I don't know if all these are going to work up there, but you can see the colorations. There's the llama, and who knows how they're going to work. But that's what this is all about. We've got this fabulous parrot. Okay, we'll see how this goes. I think they will all be good for one. And then after that will be, the third quilt will be all these warm cozies. There's the squirrel, the goose, the deer, there's a deer, there's a buffalo, the fabulous buffalo. He's so cool. And at my critter page at my website, or where are all the blocks, there's a cat. So some of these may have to come over here. We'll see how they go. There's the dog. Yeah, see how warm, these are all warm, cozy colors, and this quilt will be those. And then I'll use these little guys here to fill in the spaces. So what I'm going to do next is take this pile with Lisa the unicorn and get my ladder, and I'm just going to go put them all up on the wall. This is how I work best. I put them all up on the wall once, sort of scattering them around for size and somewhat color, for balance, so I don't have like a bunch of yellow in one corner, that kind of thing. So let me get all that done, and then we will take a look at it and see how it is. So let me show you where I am. I started out with the unicorn, and then I put 4, not that one, there was a different one there, 4 bigger blocks. There's a group of them that are kind of the same size. The bear, these guys are a little skinnier, but the penguin, and some of them have a little bit of space, so I can trim them down. They don't have to, people sent me with like a little extra around the edges. And then the chicken I was debating, but I needed something that size and something that was more playful for this one. The only one I'm not being able to fit in yet is the bird in this one. And, I could trade out something to the other grouping. Like I could try to take this guy, because even though he's very playful, I think he would fit into the other one because he has a tan Let me just set it down. Because he has a tan background versus a white background. That's kind of where I'm looking. And then maybe switching some things so that, oh, sorry. I'm talking and trying to film. So switching some things so I don't have quite as much white, like all piled up. But it's, sorry, this is not working with one camera up close. I mean, with one hand up close. Let me just, I'm just shifting these a little bit so I can try to get a feel there. So what I did was just, I had the white all together, even though that's white. It's just going to happen with the white backgrounds. You know, I try to split them up a little bit, but you know, I'll put some spacers that are different color. Then what I have is, like, there's that huge moth that worked out so good right there. So I have these groupings, and I have like a little, you know, strip that'll be of something because I need to fit that, this little baby butterfly in. See the little tiny one that I did from the socialites this year. But this is, what I have to do now is take measurements of everything and put them in my software program. I just make boxes for each one and put a name so that I have the size, and then I can see what they actually, how they actually fit. Ones that could be maybe trimmed down a little bit if I need to, and then what do I need for spacers. Like, you know, spacers would be like the fish. There's space on either side that I have to put something, either shove the fish over, like maybe that way, and put a wider piece. I can, there's a lot of just skinny strips for this one. So I don't, maybe not quite the same as the last one where I had more, where I could put like blocks in. I could find a block that goes here, but see, I need to know what size rather than just going and searching right now. I'd rather get the size, and then I know what's going on. So let me just bring up my software and just show you how I get that started. So you can see here the first one. I put the picture of the quilt in here, so you can see I put these into places, like there's the puffin and the panda and Nessie, the Loch Ness, and the shark. And like right here, there's the bird, but then right next to it, I ended up finding a little ladybug. But you can see like there's a bit more spacing like around it that needed to be filled in. You know, here, you can see it filled in. So I'm not quite going to have that same on this one. I think it'll be a bit tighter, which is great. It'll be different. So I'm just going to take one square, and I have a new page. And of course, this is not a puffin. This will be the unicorn. And it will be much bigger than this square. I don't know what the size is. I just want to put blocks and names down so that I have a reference. So like if I want to make the second one, there is the dragonfly. Like, so I would just write this as the dragonfly, etc. So that I can go ahead and have these units. Whoops, try and grab them there, group them. So I have these units. I would have like a dragonfly, and then there's the chicken and the giraffe, and then the parrot, and then in here are two blocks. There's the yeah, what did I say? Oh, it's another chicken. There's two chickens up there. I just realized that they look so different. Okay, the other chicken and a little turtle. Whoops. So a little turtle. Whoops. Okay, there we go, the turtle. So what I'm going to do is then I'll put the names in here, and I'll just build out this until, and then I'll go back in and I'll have to measure each block and put the actual size. So it's a bit tedious, but it's fun. I don't mind doing that. It's fun. I remembered our one friend sent a bag of little critter parts that I can fuse and then top stitch to a background fabric. A little pig, a little fish. So these are the tiniest ones that could fit in those spaces. So I'm going to leave them up there because I think that will work out super cute to add those little guys in there. So here you go to see them again. What I'm going to do is each day this week, this is staying up here all week, so that's the way it'll be for the week. But I'm excited about this. It's going to be fun because it'll be a little bit more mashed up together. I think it'll be kind of cool. What I'm going to do now, like I said, is just go and measure each block and put in the measurement and stick it back up in a space on the wall. And then tomorrow, tomorrow's it's Block Wednesday, but that won't take, obviously never takes a whole video, does it? So we will be able to play with this and see a little bit more about placement, maybe about some fabrics to use as spacers. I have to, once I get on the computer, I have to see how wide it is. I do not want it wider than it is longer. So if it's wider than it is longer, I either have to, mostly what I would do is just elongate it. I would pull in a spacer and a spacer up there so that it goes a little bit longer. It just needs to be at least square, if not a little bit longer. That is more pleasing and easier for people to hang on a wall. Okay, so today you are doing star blocks, Christmas stars. And don't forget all the other things I told you, whatever they are. So, I love you. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. Thank you for having sent all the critters, but don't send any more. Don't send any more. We have enough. I'll see you online.